Creating from the Heart, the Artistry of Living, and I'm here with Ron Meer. Ron, what are you up to?
Well, good afternoon for Susie. I've been up to a lot of things. I've been doing some traveling. I have a son who lives in Florida. I've been doing some fishing in the area because I really enjoy fishing. So, kind of been retired since about 2020. But
Retiring just means getting a new set of wheels.
it does. Been helping out with my wife Agnes, who is the homeowner service coordinator for Habitat for Humanity, and they do great work in LaPorte County and throughout the United States and the world, for that matter. They're building 5 houses over in LaPorte City right now. I believe it was the old Timba Bakery property, and Mayor Dermody worked with Habitat for Humanity, got the properties, and I think they've completed about 3 there, so a couple more. And so, yeah, Agnes works at recruiting and getting people that are going to qualify to live in that type of housing. And Habitat builds brand new, and then helps Agnes would help them get the mortgage, things of that nature. So,
and do you do construction too?
No, not really. No, I'll run some errands, or I'll help her out if she has something she needs done during the day or something. But it's like I say, it's a great organization, and they're housed in this very building we're in too. So
yes, they are. They're right down the hall from me. Yes.
And so I still in touch with a lot of city employees and things. I started working for Michigan City in 1989. So yeah. Had a long career, 31 years of in some capacity of working for the city of Michigan City.
And now you're retired.
Yeah, retired, but I do, like you say, help out other people with their work and things. I got a few companies that people will have me come over and do something for them for a week or something. And
give me an example.
Well, I work on some pond and lake management out in LaPorte County, and so help them out with that. I have a good friend, Kaylin Kubik, who owns a flag business, flag pole installation and things of that nature. And so he's out on sites and things and try to help him when I can. He's got a really good a business called Fly 'em High, and yeah, it's cool.
That's great.
It is.
What do you think of the new Pope?
Well, it was. I had a feeling it was going to be him. I got to be honest with you. When I remember when seeing him when he was in Chicago. It was a long time ago. But he may have visited. I'm not sure. But yeah, I had. It was. Well, it's exciting that he's from the United States, and I think he's going to be good. I really do. And because I like the popes that have a lot of humanity to them, and that are very sympathetic with, because I think in a lot of cases we've gotten away from that in this country of doing right for people that are in need, and when you have a pope that speaks to those needs, that's really important because he's heard around the world.
That's right, exactly.
Yeah, but so yeah, it's exciting times, and I know you had asked me before about how I kind of got started.
Yeah.
Well, I started working for the city in '89. I've served 9 years on the Human Rights Commission, 8 years as a city councilman, and then 8 years as mayor. But I was living on the west side of Michigan City over on Columbia Street, and that's the 3rd Ward, and decided to, as I looked at the west side, that we weren't getting as much funding as some of the other neighborhoods throughout the city. And so I said, I think I'll run for city council because, we need to have somebody, because when you're a ward councilman, your job and your task is to look out for that ward and make sure you're getting whatever the piece of the pie is and is being invested in your ward. And so in my first 4 years as city councilman, we were able to get $13 million invested in there, and that's when Strebel Pond, because the Knapp School area and Village Green.
And flooding and all that? That was great.
That flooding issue was a big issue, and Strebel Pond alleviated that, and also where the residents don't have to pay that flood insurance anymore, which was quite costly in many cases. And then I remember then Mayor Chuck Oberly came to me and asked if, what do you think about a skate park going in at Pullman Field? And I said, well, let's do it, and because there was other parts of the city that they actually didn't want it in their neighborhood, the skate
I
park.
love that.
And so we put it over there, and there was also some other improvements to Pullman Field and Joe Hawkins Park, and just, a lot of infrastructure too, things you don't see, new water lines, new sewer lines, storm water. It's all underground, and it's not real glamorous.
They don't put a sign up saying here.
I mean, when you put in a new, let's say, $3 million lift station for pumping sewage, that's not glamorous, but it's needed. It's important if it's alleviating basement flooding and things like that. So you do a lot of that type of work that it's hard to get recognition for, but very needed.
Yes.
Very needed.
And very, ultimately, if you're not aware of it, you're appreciating it.
Correct. Especially when it's a neighborhood, and like I say, their basements have had flooding, and we're having, bad stuff coming into their house in the basements. You really are thankful for it then, because at one time, majority of Michigan City was what they call combined sewers. So the storm water was going right into the same sewer as the sewage does, and then that's what caused overflow. So now we've had a lot. I'd say we're probably 80% separated now.
Oh, that's amazing.
It is, and it's a good thing.
So, how did you get into all of this stuff? What is it? How did you think you'd be doing this when you were a kid?
No, I did not. I probably never even, I don't think until I was in my 20s that I really thought about politics much, or community service of any kind, whether it be county, state, or local level.
What triggered that?
I'd say, I think when I was living on the west side and just seeing that things weren't getting done, and I felt that I could, and then working for the city, you got an insight of knowing how the operations are. I mean, I worked out in the streets, so you got a partnership of working with police officers, working with fire departments, street departments, water. It was all, you worked with the parks. So you were learning a lot, and you're learning about, where the investment is going. When you look, especially we're sitting right here by some major investment with the whole new train station that was put in, and we were so long overdue. It's getting those type of things accomplished, with a new police station. We were able to get in because other administrations had attempted to do it, but financing always became a problem, and costs and things like that. And at the time, that was probably one of the most state of the art, the new police station. It still is, but we were able to get that done and pay it off all within 4 years.
And we're going to have the You Are Beautiful space.
Yeah,
and we're going to have the prison's going to be transferred.
Yeah, that'll be a real interesting project. They've talked for many years that they were going to move operations to Westville. Now that looks like it's going to be a real deal. I think the big concern will be what happens exactly with the prison site. Will it be developed? There's all kinds of ideas.
Are there?
Yeah, and that's a part of when you're in leadership roles that you might be part of the ultimate decision. But there's people that wanted to be a museum, and I don't know, but there's going to have to be a lot of remediation work there. I mean, it's been there for the 1860s. And so you don't know what's all out there. I mean, there's a graveyard there, but there could also be other contaminants. It could, possibly even be a brownfield site. But demolition itself would be very costly. I mean, it's built solid for a reason.
Yes, I guess so.
Yeah. But that area, then the area where we had the old News Dispatch and the police department taken down, that's a very developable site. And I know, people get anxious. They want to see something happen within a year, but many of these things...
they take longer than that.
Yeah, the whole South Shore Station project and the parking garage and the development there, we were working on that in 2015, 2016. I remember going 3-4 times a month. We were going over to Dune Acres at the NICD office and meeting with their engineers and Mike Nolan and those guys, and we made it happen. And it's that partnership, and that was a good partnership. The whole double tracking was with across party lines. Republicans, Democrats, mayors,
Everybody wanted it.
at state level, the governor wanted it, at the time, and and we made it happen. Actually, I served about a year on the NICTY board, and that was very interesting too. So we were right there making those decisions, and it's going to have a big impact,
Oh, I think so.
A lot will matter about how well it's managed too, this whole area. I mean, we have to keep it clean. You have to keep it safe. You can't let train stations and double track. That's very important. And we'll see how that goes, but it needs to happen.
Yes, I agree with you. So what else is up? Anything?
As I look at Michigan City, I guess now I look more all over the county. I look at county government. Sometimes a little disappointed at that level that there's the bickering that goes on and things like that. I do like to see the progress, and there's a lot of challenges. We got Lake Michigan is just so great having it here, Trail Creek, and I've always really advocated for the importance of the environment, and that was part of my job, was working in stormwater and things. And back in 2009, I seen some really bad things of raw sewage going into Trail Creek and stuff. We got exposed these issues and got IDEM and the EPA, and most of all that has been remediated at this point, House. But I just don't know if people always appreciate that one of the most important things that we recycle as a society is water. Okay, water, you don't think of it, you don't have a recycling bin, but all the water that's used in houses and buildings and in industry
goes back someplace.
Right, and it's treated and goes back into Trail Creek cleaner than it was when it came out. Right, and then our intakes are right out behind the senior center where we bring in the water for the city.
Good.
Yeah.
Hopefully this will continue.
Yes, I that's very important that no matter whose administration is in there, that they realize the importance of Lake Michigan. One of the things that we also did under my administration was get that pavilion right on the lakefront right down there, and that's very highly used, and I think people for a long time were looking for something where they could sit out and have a glass of wine or a snack or something.
And they're certainly going to extend that shortly into a really incredible place to be.
Oh,
that park.
Yep.
Whoa.
Those discussions were also going on way back with Shannon Eason in regards to getting a great community and children's activities, but also things for adults in Fetters Alley Park area.
It takes a while, It just takes a while for people to get behind something.
Well, you're counting on various funding sources also.
Yes.
You might be getting part of the funding from the state, part from federal government, part from local, where maybe it takes 2 or 3 years for the council to approve the monies that may be needed, and it's pieces that have to be put together to make things happen. They just had some improvement, I know, over at Water Tower Park, and that was, like I said, that in the makings like 7-8 years ago.
See?
Yeah.
It takes time, and we humans are pretty impatient sometimes.
One of the great things that I know you would appreciate is, we have the only national park in the state of Indiana right here on our shorelines. And is maybe not in our lifetime, but at some point NIPSCO will be gone, and the prison will be gone. I think all of it's going to take a lot longer than people think.
I agree with you.
I mean, I don't see.
Well, you have to wait for some of the remediation to happen.
And can you imagine the remediation that'll be necessary on the NIPSCO site? I mean,
know.
Demolition and remediation,
Right.
Because of the coal ash ponds and things. But
when the demolition happens, at least we'll have a view.
Well, probably our grandkids. Yeah.
That'll be good.
It will.
That'll be good. So, if you ran into a kid who was trying to decide what to do about his future, he was either graduating from high school or maybe graduating from college, couldn't quite decide, or somebody had lost their job. You know, we all get in tough places every once in a while,
Right.
and we don't know where we're going or what we're doing. What would do you have any suggestions for somebody like that?
Well, I know college isn't for everyone. My father, my grandfather, several of my uncles were all union electricians. So there's the trades are another
That's
pathway.
true.
But I think, my uncle Newt Meer, he was the athletic director at Elston, a coach, teacher, mentor. And he told me something when I was, probably 8 or 10, that enjoy what you do. That is so important. That every day when you go to work, you're enjoying it, you love it, and it makes it gives you more ambition to go to work and want to work and work overtime and be there, and
And mental health is based on it.
yeah, well, that's true. But I thought that statement that Newt told me has always stuck with me. He says, "Ronnie, do something you love," And I love being outdoors, and environment was very important to me. So that's why I got into some of the fields that I was in, that I could be outside every day. I mean, it's not always pleasant in the winter around here, but yeah, look, pick the pathway that's best for you. That you think that because
Gets your heart.
yeah, and
Makes you can hardly wait to get up in the morning, right?
yeah, and money's important. So you got to have a job that makes halfway decent, income. But he would speak to my dad, and my uncles. Newt would say, that they make really good money as electricians, and they did. And the trades, all the trades pay very well and have good packages. But he says they didn't always like what they were doing, because sometimes they were working in very dirty, cold conditions or hot. And so, but he loved being a teacher and a coach and an athletic director. He loved it.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And prior to that, he was in the Coast Guard. Yeah. And some, when I think about my grandfathers and great uncles, things like that, some were World War II veterans. You don't see World War II veterans anymore, hardly at all. I mean, as a kid, when I'm 8, 9, 10 years old, you're talking to people that actually were in World War II. And I think that we've lost that somewhat of the youth really knowing what was sacrificed during.
We do have Vietnam veterans.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
And it's important to acknowledge them when we see them, I think.
Yep.
And to say thank you for everyone who serves in the service.
I keep a picture of my mom's brother. His name was Glenn Allen Westfall, and he was killed when he was 19 years old in Vietnam back in 1968. And every time I have an opportunity to tell a story about my uncle, I think I was 4 or 5 years old at the time when he was killed, but that's always stuck with me. I have the flag that was on the casket and some of the medals and things.
And he's given the ultimate gift.
Yeah, I see a 19-year-old, now, and I'm thinking 19.
Right.
And you're gone. And
it's amazing.
it is.
And
it is.
Thank you very much.
Yes. But I think, as I think of the youth today, and then jobs have changed, industries changed, factory work has changed.
I think the Industrial Revolution's over.
Yeah, so much
and
is
the entrepreneurial
technical.
revolution is here.
Yeah.
Which means you have to be smart about what you're doing, because if you go and start a business, you don't start it on a whim. You have to understand that connecting with the right people and maintaining those relationships by communicating with them and doing what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
It's really pretty simple.
And look at the amount of people that work from home.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 of my daughter and my middle son both work from home, both in the whole computer engineering and things of that nature, where they work from home. My youngest son works for the South Shore Rail, and so he, that's very interesting too. Yeah, and
Sounds like they found what they love.
they do. I think they all love their careers, and
Must have listened to their father.
yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing. This has been great.
I appreciate the invite. And,
Okay.
yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So, Ron, I should ask you,
Mm.
if somebody is looking to make a connection with you, where would they find you?
Well,
How can they do that? How can they connect?
well, I've still been for 18 years. I live at the same residence over on in Roberta Avenue.
Okay.
Yeah, they can get a hold of me on Facebook also.
Okay,
Message me
great.
on Facebook. I have. I think I've had a Facebook now for what since it came out. You know,
Right.
it helps when you're involved in politics.
It
So they
does.
could message me through there also.
Great.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.